The NFC East has been ruled pretty much by Dallas for a while, and most people seem to think. But, however, is there a chance the Eagles can fly to the top and take the crown of the NFC East? And what does Washington have to say about it? And they also tell us that the Giants will be better. How better? Well, we're going to go through the schedule and tell you right now. Hello and welcome to May. Wow, we're in May. Josh Allen is on the golf course beating up on Tom Brady. How awesome is that? Now, but we are not going to talk golf and Josh Allen, although I want to. He had a great day out there. We're going to talk the schedule on the NFC East, and I'll bring in my co-host, Donnie. What do you think about Josh Allen on the golf course today, man?
Woo. Good, man. I guess the real question is there anything that guy can't do? I actually didn't even know he was on the golf course. Yeah. But, if you're hanging out with Tom Brady, you're probably having a good day learning some stuff.
Oh, yeah. He even played with the ball that had Tom Brady's combine shirtless pic on it.
Oh, yeah. That's good. I like that.
But we, my friend, are here to talk NFC East. Now, the Dallas Cowboys have had probably the best team in that division for a while now. I don't think anybody would argue. No, I think this year that team is better, and that one particular year, for the most part, it's been, dominated by a Cowboy team.
At least last year. I think the year before that, I guess they would.
Philly had that run.
Washington with a different name. Made the playoffs, excuse me. But, I think they're definitely a team to contend with. I know that team, that whole division has kind of struggled. I am interested to see. I think they all improved, at least a little bit.
That's what they're telling me. They're all improved. But the wins got to come from somewhere, and they got to come from the schedule. And if they're playing a better team than them, it doesn't matter how much better they are from last year. They may not even win as many games. It's crazy to say that, but, in a league of professional sports where, there's 32 teams and you only play a couple of them only play them twice. I mean, you're going to run into a tough run. And are you better? But is your schedule this year harder?
I know we keep hitting on that. But, if you're going to win the Super Bowl, right, your team should be able to beat any team it comes against. Or do you even deserve to win the Super Bowl? But when it comes down to it, 6 games matter the most.
That's right. No,
the best of 6 games.
You're right about we play 17 games, and then all that matters are the 6. But I want to focus first because you're looking up at the power rankings, right? Who is the top team in the NFC East that you see on those NFL power rankings? The Philadelphia Eagles. Now, you take that, but then you go to Vegas, provided for us from the 25th of May. 7.5.
That's how many games they're giving them to win?
Is what they're giving them to win. Shoot. 7.5, yet they're giving Dallas 10.5. How?
I thought it was a little bit closer than that.
No, wait. Philly's 8.5. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Philly's 8.5. Dallas is 10.5. And then,
well, Dallas has the easier schedule, correct? Is what I've come to learn.
I mean, their schedule is going to be very similar. It's just those tough matchups for Philly land. Home games, I mean, you're going to think about them more winning a tough game.
I was looking up the stuff you were talking about. Yeah, you're right. But honestly, I think Philadelphia has a better team this year. I just think it's it's slightly based on, obviously it should be based on what's going on right now and how the team looks, but it's also based on what last year produced. But I think Philadelphia went up, where as far as the Cowboys may have gone down, unfortunately.
And see, the win totals will tell you that, because Dallas won 12 games last year. Vegas is giving you 10.5.
Which, Philly, I mean, we said 11 is going to give you a playoff spot, so that Yeah.
Philly won 9 games last year. Vegas has them at 8.5, so they have Philly pretty much where they were last year. Going down Philly, they have a couple key matchups that it could change the course of their season, and I think they could legitimately run and have a run at Dallas. I think that game in Minnesota, it's the second game of the year, and it's going to Minnesota. Minnesota and Philly they're probably real close to each other. And I'd say in an early season game, lean a little bit more towards the home team in a matchup like that. Well, yeah, actually, no, I'm totally going against that. Yeah, Philly's the home team for that, but I have Minnesota beating them.
All right, so we just skip the Lions. Or you just think that's automatically a W against the Lions this year?
I didn't think there was going to be much conversation, debate about that. I mean,
I just think that all right. So Philly got AJ Brown, so the wide receiver core is better, right? And they did some work during the draft as far as defense. So I really do think they're gonna outshine. Plus, Hurts is this is his second year really coming on. And right when they switched over to him, they really started to shine. So I think that the confidence going into this year, they're really expecting him to do something, and I really do think we are going to see something.
Well, the people who work and report and analyze the NFL, they have that feeling too. They think Philly's. So I mean, can they beat Minnesota at home?
I would think so.
Probably.
So I was trying to get all my information ready before I started talking, but
no worries.
I think the thing with Philly, the reason they're bringing the point or the score total down is because of the new office that's coming in. So, I know that plays into it, but I think these guys are really starting to step up, and I really feel like Philly's always been like that underdog team that everybody doesn't want to give credit to, but at the same time, when they beat your team, you're like, dang it, okay, I guess Philadelphia really is good.
Yeah, well, they ran that whole bit on their Super Bowl run. Remember when they had the dog masks and everything?
I just feel weird about that Super Bowl run because, I mean, it was great for Philadelphia. I'm not trying to take away from it, right? But I really didn't believe in Wentz, and then Wentz got hurt and won them all the games to get to the Super Bowl. And then...
So it didn't satisfy you on what the question was.
Oh, no, Tom Brady lost to a backup quarterback. I mean, that's that in itself is kind of cool. Which I'm not hating on Tom Brady, but you know what I'm saying, that doesn't happen to him. You just don't beat Tom Brady. So I don't know what was going on there.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, shoot, man. It's a home game for Philly.
Against
So
Minnesota is what you're talking about?
yeah. So maybe. And Minnesota's going to be coming off a game against Green Bay,
Which is always a rival game, so they're
I mean
probably
they're
going to
going to
lose
be
that game.
yeah, they're going to be coming out of a tough fight to begin the year. So I mean,
the only thing I can give to Minnesota is that they're the hardest team that they've faced so far, even in preseason. They'll be the most difficult team to that point.
right.
I hope the Eagles win. I think the Eagles will win.
No, yeah. I'll go with that. And then Philly's at Washington. Philly's going to be slightly better than Washington.
Should be better.
Then they're at home. Jacksonville.
Gosh, man, I hate talking crap about Jacksonville, but they probably will. They probably will lose.
Yeah, and then I think Philly goes into Arizona and does the number on Arizona.
You think they're really going to beat the Cardinals?
I think Arizona has a tough start of the season, man. They got Kansas City, Rams, Raiders. Then they have a bye week in Carolina.
I mean, they should win Carolina, but I feel like you're putting too much emphasis on Murray not playing for them. I think if Murray plays for them, the Eagles will lose that game.
Hey, man, I have to go with what the man himself has said. I have heard nothing new as far as it's going. Kyler Murray is not playing next year.
Well, we'll see. I read an article saying he's going to the events. So I assume if you're really not into the franchise, you're not going to hit up that kind of stuff. I could be wrong. Maybe it's a ploy so that the franchise actually pulls the trigger on gives him some more money. But
I mean, just because he's holding out, I think he's still obligated, and even the NFLPA is going to hold him to it. Still obligated for appearances and whatnot.
Like he's not going to get paid if he doesn't go to those?
More money could be in jeopardy.
Okay. I could see that.
That's just
I have a feeling
I'm not an NFL contract expert. And okay, if he does play, the pendulum probably slides towards Arizona. Especially since it's in Arizona. But if Kyler Murray isn't playing, I don't think it's a big question. And even if Kyler Murray is playing, his teammates don't seem to be buddy with him.
Well, when you act like that, of course, it's hard for them to rally around you because they're like, dude, we're trying to win. We want to win. I get it. But
right.
Still on your rookie contract, let's just kind of pull it together and just play.
Or maybe he got the right voice in his ear. Then Philly's home to Dallas. And if everybody's saying what they're saying, I'm thinking they can beat Dallas at home. But maybe not. But Dallas can't have a clean sweep of the division. That's too many wins.
I think it's Dallas's game to lose. And that being said, I think the Eagles do have a stronger team going forward. As far as Dallas is concerned, I feel they're I know we're going to get more into that, but it seems like they've really been struggling, even though they have. I know coming off of like the best season they've had in like 10 years, it's hard to say that they're struggling. But as far as like the team dynamic and the, I guess the off-field player, connection, I think that is struggling, and that has a lot to do with some stuff we'll get into later. But that one's going to be close.
I think that it's going to be a very, very good game. And then Pittsburgh, okay. Philly has their bye week. And then they play Pittsburgh.
Which should be a victory.
Yeah. You would think.
But maybe you have a little more hope for Philly, for Pittsburgh, because I saw your post about how they should finish third, not fourth in that division.
Yeah, they're better than the Browns.
Wait, so you're telling me that because the way you're saying it, you really think that the Steelers have a better chance to beat Philadelphia than the Cowboys?
No.
So you think they're going to lose to the Cowboys and beat them, or they're both going to beat Philadelphia?
No. I think there's a chance Pittsburgh could go into Philly and win.
Okay.
Now, what I'm basing that on is normally you would chunk it, oh, well, this will be another loss. But Pittsburgh is a franchise. They've always been known to, when they're going down a tough stretch and they're losing games, they're going to get to a game they have to win. That somehow they'll figure out a way to pull that off. This early in the season, right in before their bye week, it's that Philadelphia game. Going into that game, I have Pittsburgh with 1 win. Going into the Philadelphia game, I have them with 1 win. That is the turning point for the Pittsburgh Steelers season right there. Okay. If they don't win that game, Pittsburgh's going to have a bad time next year, and maybe they won't finish above Cleveland.
I think that's a clutch game for Philly, because I think right after that they go into a stretch that they're probably not going to win too many. I think that'll be the motivation for them to come out and win, because the next 4 to 5, they're going to lose at least 3 for sure.
Yeah, because they go to Indy, they have Green Bay, and they have Tennessee.
Which, so
you're right. That's a
hard stretch right there. I know they play the Texans and the Commanders, which those should be victories.
Right. And so it'd be nice to put a victory against the Steelers before that and go in to that Indy game, with 3 wins coming off the bye.
Because you're probably getting 3 L's right there. I would be very impressed if they beat any of those teams.
Oh, dude. Yeah. No, I see that the same way.
And I do have high hopes for the Eagles this year, but at least doing better, getting to the playoffs. Those 3 teams, though, man.
Yeah. I don't have – I got all L's right there for Philly. Then they have the Giants and Chicago, both on the road. I think they can do that.
I think the Giants are going to struggle this year. So are the Bears, but I don't think as much.
Right.
I think it's going to be Daniel Jones' year to really show face.
This is going to be make or break, man. And then they go to Dallas, and I reckon that's a loss. I reckon Dallas beats them.
You think they're going to sweep them?
No, Dallas. No, I got Philly winning the game in Dallas.
Is that the first one or the second one?
That's the first one.
Okay.
And then week 16, they play in Dallas, and I have that a Dallas victory.
And that's a Christmas Eve game, so usually the Cowboys do pretty good around the holidays.
Yeah, and then they end with New Orleans and Giants at home.
I hate to say New Orleans is going to lose, but they're not. They're not Drew Brees and the Saints. So
right,
and we got to see the fallout of the situation that's happening with the running back. So we'll see about that. So
yeah,
that's going to be a close game. They could potentially win that game. They should win the games against the Giants.
right, yeah. So you're looking at that. I mean, with a couple slight whatevers. I mean, you're probably looking at 10 wins would be a good season. Would be a really good season for Philly.
And honestly, I think that's enough wins to win that division.
I don't know.
I mean, it's going to be Dallas that gives them the run for their money, unless
right.
for some reason Washington decides to actually learn how to play football. But I doubt it because you got Wentz throwing you the ball, which, I mean, I don't know.
Right.
He's never impressed me as a quarterback. So we'll see how that goes.
No, yeah, totally get that. But now we'll go to the team that has been running the show. Them boys every year, Super Bowl or bust and bust.
Every year, man. It's those
no matter how good you do, that first round exit can be predicted, man. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Dallas running through this season. And I have
the number one team hated by all refs.
Yeah, dude, they are. They are. Definitely. And the commissioner.
Yeah, just come on.
Yeah.
They don't get the
Jerry
first
Jones signs his paycheck.
What do you expect?
Right. Because I think Dallas is going to be on a very, very, very good run going into the playoffs. So if they have another first round exit, man, I don't know what to tell you, Dallas. But they start off the year hosting Tampa Bay. I'm going Tampa Bay.
Me too.
Give
me 1 second. I need to let my dog outside. I do apologize.
Yeah, go ahead.
Lola, come
on. So Dallas playing Tampa Bay, hosting them. It'll be Jerry World. Protest maybe. I don't know. And then Dallas stays at home, but I have a loss there. Dallas stays at home to host Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati is a more rounded, better team. I think Cincinnati wins that game. Of course, we'll ask Donnie when he gets back what he thinks about that game. So, no 2 start there for Dallas. I mean, I don't think anybody's worrying if, in Cowboy land about how your season is looking, because these are 2 top teams. Losing really doesn't mean anything at all. Then going to the Giants, I think Dallas is a much better team than the Giants. I don't think anyone's going to argue that, even though it's a home game for the Giants.
My apologies.
All right, no worries. So, like I was just saying, Tampa Bay, even though it's at home, big game, but Tampa Bay's freaking Tampa Bay, man. So I got to give the edge to Tampa.
Aren't they the team that beat them like pretty early on? I think like 2 years ago, Dallas.
Could be.
Excuse me. I think that was one of the teams. I do think Tom Brady is going to get back out there and really do some work though this year. I do.
Yeah.
Why come back unless he really felt it?
No, you're right.
So, nothing else to prove. You're out there just because you're having fun. And when you have fun, you win football games.
And it sounds like he will have a lot of fun. They re-upped Godwin.
I mean, Mike Evans is a super beast.
Oh man!
Somehow, like he doesn't get enough credit, man.
I
don't know why.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I think he's recognized as one of the best wide receivers without question.
I just feel like I don't know. I've been a huge Mike Evans fan. I don't think he gets enough clout. Especially because pretty much up until last year, he got 1,000-yard seasons for 7 years in a row.
Dude, no, he's been top notch consistently. He's a good wide receiver, and he's one of the reasons why Tampa Bay are so good. But I don't think Dallas can beat them.
Probably not.
And then Cincinnati comes into town.
Should crush them. Cincinnati. Yep, crushing them.
Who's crushing who?
Cincinnati's crushing Dallas.
Oh, okay. I was like, damn, you got okay. Yeah, Cincinnati's winning that game. I don't think there's much to say about it. That's a really, really good Cincinnati team. Then they go to the New York Giants. I think they are miles better than the Giants. And I think that's an easy W. If
they lose to the Giants, I don't know what they're doing this year.
Oh man, then the Giants got to be really, really good.
Nah,
if that's happening, and I don't think they are. No,
I honestly, it's weird just to say the Giants have almost been like worse than they were with Eli. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I thought they were going to improve, but
it's taken a while. It's a transition.
Okay.
It is a transition, and they are going through it. Who knows how long they'll be going through it. Then, after their game against Washington, where they even up their record on the year, they go to the Rams.
I know.
Sorry, Cowboy fan.
Anybody's going to beat the Rams this year, dude.
This is not a game you're going to win.
Gosh, man, I never thought I would say it, but I think the Rams are going to run the show for. They can keep the players that they have for. A couple more years than I may have imagined.
I mean, yeah, I have them running the show this year. Yeah. And then I got Dallas going, like we already talked about with Philly. I got Dallas going to Philly and losing.
Okay.
I know you probably would lean towards Dallas winning that game.
Well, I don't want to give Dallas the full credit and tell them they're going to sweep the Eagles, but I really do not think the Eagles are going to beat the Dallas Cowboys on the 24th of December. I don't see it, man. And that's strictly based on some teams, it's weird, do better during the holidays. And Dallas is one of those teams. I don't know if Jerry Jones goes in the locker room and goes, if you guys win, we're all getting bonuses. Or what?
I mean, and the game that second game, that week 16 Christmas game, is in Dallas. So, yeah, I don't see Philly walking in and winning that. So if Philly's going to beat them, it's going to have to be in Philly. And they'll still be fine if they get swept by Dallas as far as the schedule is concerned.
But you don't want to get swept by your top competitor.
Yeah. And then you're looking
pretty much in a wild card situation.
Right. And then you're looking at having the exact same record as you did last year, and everybody told us you were better. So
they should be.
It'd be a bummer. It'd be a bummer. Then after Philly, Dallas has Detroit and Chicago, both at home. These are easy, winnable games for Dallas, I think. And then they have their bye week. So 4-4 going into the bye week. So Dallas's fate is in its own hands at this point. Coming out of the bye week, you got to go to Green Bay, though.
That's going to be a cool game.
We all know Dallas's whatever made up history with Green Bay.
No, I'm just talking about that's the first time McCarthy's back in Lambeau.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
McCarthy going back. It's going to be a huge game.
I think that's going to be a very good game.
It will be good.
I do think Green Bay is going to win, unfortunately.
Yeah, calling it right now. I mean,
man, dude, I hate getting it. Aaron Rodgers wins. I really do. I hope they go in there and crush him, man. Straight up.
Hey, we may feel differently when it comes to Week 10, but as of right now, calling it's got to be Green Bay. And then after that Green Bay game, though, I think the rest of their season they can coast. I mean, they're not all easy. Philly at home on Christmas, they'll handle that. Going to Tennessee to the AFC fan might be a big game, but that Dallas should beat them. And then they also have Indy at home, so I'm going to give Dallas the edge.
Man, it's hard saying.
I don't know what that Matt Ryan Indy
Tennessee in the regular season.
I don't think Indy's going to be as good as they were last year.
Dallas does have a more complete team than the Titans do.
Yeah, I think you can stop. And they're missing their number one wide receiver threat. Not missing, he gone.
Yeah, they deuced him.
So it'd be hard to see Tennessee winning that game. And then with Indy, I'd like to think about it just for the fact I don't know what a Matt Ryan Indy-led team's going to look like.
It should be better. It should be. But how much better? But they did perfectly fine.
Right. And Dallas has never had a problem with Matt Ryan.
Yeah. But he's on a different team.
Right.
Maybe this is his year.
Right.
I doubt it, but
calling it now, I'm saying that's a end of the season sweep for Dallas, man. I think they ride into the playoffs.
Well,
8-game winning streak.
8-game winning streak?
I think they can win all those games after Green Bay. That Green Bay game.
You think they can beat the Titans?
Yes.
Wow.
I think they can.
No, man. I mean, hearing you say that is blowing my mind.
I mean, I don't think Tennessee's going to be as good as they were
really
last year.
give Dallas as much credit as people would like.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I know, man.
So, shoot. I mean, that will be very impressive. What's that put them at? 11? 12 wins? 12 wins?
12.
Yeah.
Which is what they did last year.
Which gets them in the playoffs for sure.
It definitely does. And I don't know how
they've lost Amari Cooper, which I guess I know Lamb is very good. And I am interested to see how James Washington plays on that team, but he got hurt. So he's been in a boot for the last week. So
right.
There's that to contend with. But and as weird as it is to say, I don't know if Elliott's really gonna produce like he ever did before. Is not done, but
Pollard was doing what he could do, at least this past season. So it was like, why'd we pay you all that money?
Yeah. Zeke's still the starter. He's still RB1.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we're not arguing. Yeah.
But I'm interested to see how
you can't be outproduced by your backup.
How he handles everything. Interested to see if he has really. I mean, I know he connected to CeeDee Lamb, but having Amari Cooper is way different than having a James Washington. So we'll see how that goes.
No
I think
doubt.
Schultz is a great tight end. I think he's going to be really, really good.
Well, it's a good team. If they put it together, they should have a very good year. We have a close battle with them in Philly to win that division. So those games against each other are going to be pretty big. If one can get the sweep, that definitely gives the edge. But, we'll wait and see. The team, now, if we don't get to them, sorry, Washington fan. We're not ignoring your team. It's just you're the least interesting team in this division.
You think they're less interesting than the Giants?
I'm gonna get to that, but yeah, they could be.
Really?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Last year, Washington won 7 games.
Yeah, and I'm a big McLaurin fan, so I think they should.
Right,
be doing
I know.
Better.
And Vegas has them at 7.5.
That's suppressing, man.
So pretty much the same.
Really?
The Giants last year, they won 4 games last year. 4 games.
I think they projected at like 5 point. I think
7.5.
5.5 is the over under. So
I got 7.5.
Okay.
7.5 games. Can we find those 7? Well, let's see. They start off in Tennessee. I think that's Tennessee all day.
Oh, yeah, the Giants?
Yeah, against the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, their whole organization is kind of in a scramble. They have a whole new front. I don't think Saquon Barkley is the answer. And Daniel Jones has to prove himself this year. So they're on thin ice, man.
Yeah, I agree with that. Then home Carolina. I'll give them a win over Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's how you know. I don't know the Giants is. I'm struggling to say that they're going to beat Carolina, but yeah, I think they should. I mean, I'm not trying to say that Daniel Jones is bad because he's not. He did have some flair last year, but he doesn't have a team. You know? I mean, who's he throwing the ball to? Your running back that you're paying so much. I don't know how much they're really paying him, but the guy
rookie contract still
supposed to be, but he got drafted number 1, right? So like the dude that's supposed to be like an elite running back has just been injury prone left and right. So what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
But we'll give him the Carolina win.
Oh yeah, sorry, Giant fans.
So we can show face.
Cool. He's good. Then the Giants host Dallas,
which I think they're going to lose.
Yeah, they're going to lose that game.
Yeah.
At home to Chicago.
They should
win that game.
They should win.
They should win that game. Then they go to Green Bay, which
I think those games are going to be closer though than they really want to. They should lose to Green Bay for sure.
Yes. And then I also have them losing the following week to Baltimore.
Yeah.
See, after Baltimore, then they go to Jacksonville.
They should lose.
Yeah.
I want Jacksonville to win. No, I'm saying it's going to be
it might be a good
game, but yeah, no, I'm gonna say Jacksonville wins. I'm just gonna give it to them. Jacksonville wins.
All right. I mean, word, man. Free country. Heck yeah.
No.
And then they go to Seattle. I think they're beating Seattle.
Okay. Really? Okay. I mean, okay. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
I think Seattle wins that game, honestly.
I mean, Vegas doesn't have high hopes for Seattle.
Yeah, well.
They don't.
Any given Sunday, but I get what you're saying.
Any given Sunday. You are right about that, man. I'm a firm believer. Firm believer.
Just watched that movie a little bit ago.
Oh, nice, dude. Yeah. Very nice. Al Pacino. Then they have their bye week. So they get to prepare for Houston and Detroit at home, which
it should be W's, right?
I think they can handle both of those.
Yeah.
Then they go to Dallas. I don't think they have much of a chance to win that game.
No, they should. They should lose to Dallas. I mean, if Dallas loses to the Giants, I don't know what you're doing.
Oh,
you know,
right? Yeah.
So,
and then I have them winning at home against Washington, which I think they're going to be close, and I'm going to give the home team, That's
a weird to be announced. Why is that?
The time?
Yeah. It's usually the to be announced is at the end of the season.
Right. I don't know.
I don't know if that's because it's the week leading up to Christmas or what. Because the Washington game's on the 18th.
Could be. I don't know. Maybe it's in the flex.
Maybe. Or is that? I know they're doing some games in Europe this year, right? You think maybe that's one of them?
No, they know what time it is.
I'm not saying
those game times. Yeah, those game times are already set. They're selling tickets.
Okay.
So the time has to be set. See the Giants, yeah. So I have them beating Washington there. And then I have them losing out the rest of the season.
I was gonna say they're probably gonna lose the rest of the season, man.
Yeah.
I think you gave the Giants a little more credit than they deserve this year.
Hey, I got them to 7 wins. I got them to 7. You had a couple questions, which would take them down to 5, which is some 1 win better than last year. So they did get better. There is improvement, Giant fan.
It's not enough
one game.
Those players, though.
Right. Could be 1 game or 3 games. But like Donnie just said, neither one is good enough to keep your underperforming, highly valued players.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
So,
unfortunately, sometimes you got to let some people go. But you changed your whole office. So if things don't pan out this year, who's gonna be leaving the show?
Right. Yeah. Playing the guy who just got here. All right, Washington fan. Last year you won 7 games. Vegas has you at 7.5. I am sorry. I went through, man.
You think less?
I did not find 7. I did not find 7 wins. I got you starting off 2-0 with wins against Jacksonville and Detroit.
Oh shoot, man!
But that's about
as lose that Jacksonville game, but we'll give it to them just to show face. I mean, because I think man, I just think Gibson, man, they were trying to push him so hard this year as far as like trying to get him to be the running back that they needed, and he was really struggling. And I know that has to also do with not creating pockets and
right.
Everything like that. The front line not being able to hold anything like that, create openings, but still, he wasn't moving like people expected him to because he was drafted pretty high as far as fantasy is concerned.
No, right, yeah. So let me see something here.
It looks dismal for Washington, unfortunately.
It does.
I was going over their schedule right now, and it doesn't look like they have too many high hopes. Which is crazy because like 2 years ago they got into the playoffs with I think like 7 wins. That exact amount, 7 or 8 wins.
Right. So I guess Carson Wentz is going to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
And we've already shared about our opinions about Carson Wentz.
He came back, man. He came back to the division. He missed us.
Right. So after that Detroit game, they come home for Philly, Dallas, Tennessee. I do not have them win one of them games.
That's a difficult road right there.
Those are tough.
Which might make the next one even harder to win, even though they should win.
I put a loss down, but I'm willing to listen and change it because it is in Chicago. It is. I just think they need a
W right there, man.
Washington will need to beat Chicago. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's go, Washington. You did it. You beat Chicago because you're gonna have to. Because after that, you got Green Bay, Indy, Minnesota, and Philly.
No.
Yeah, you got some more losses there. So we're going to give you that win against Chicago, which makes Chicago's season a lot worse.
I mean, it wasn't going to be very high.
It wasn't.
Truthfully, but.
Right. And then Washington goes to Houston.
I want to say it's a W. I think Houston's going to be a wash this year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Vegas has them at 4.5.
Oh shoot!
And they won 4 last year, so they're going to be just as bad.
They had a better quarterback last year. So shoot, man.
That's
thanks for them.
So then home for Atlanta. I think Washington can get Atlanta because Atlanta's not going to be very good.
They're probably not going to be as solid as they would like to be this year now.
No, they won 4 games last year. So
that's weird. It's the same opponents are back to back.
With the bye week thrown in between the Giant games. And I have those split.
Okay.
I have the home and away split there. I think that the Giants of Washington on paper, they're very close. They're very close.
Yeah.
I gotta give the home edge there. And unless you're 100% certain, I don't think you give a clear season sweep.
Probably not.
Unless you're 100% certain, yeah, that team is much better. But yeah, when the schedule came out, I found that interesting. A bye thrown in between two Giants games.
Weird. I wonder why they did that.
I don't know. And then I have Washington ending the season with 3 losses.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so Washington, what? I gave you an extra one, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6-11. So I couldn't find you 7 wins, Washington.
I think maybe we gave them one more than they really are going to have, but I was just hoping they were going to beat Chicago.
That's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
You're going to need that Chicago win, Washington fan. Because if not, if you don't beat Chicago, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're talking potentially 8 losses in a row.
That's got to build your fan base right there.
And then that game in Houston's a lot harder.
Oh, yeah.
Because now you both suck.
Yeah.
And
it's like what team wants to suck the least, right?
Yeah.
Or, I guess not suck as much.
Exactly. So we found the improvement for the Giants. We found improvement for Philly. We did not find it for Washington. We found it-ish for Dallas, but yeah, I would think 10-12 wins for Dallas. It's probably what's going to happen. 8-10 probably for Philly. I don't think they'll win the 12 games.
I wanted to get that 10-11, but it's probably going to be like 9.
Yeah.
9.
Which would be on par with last year, but maybe like they look better or something.
The schedule, I think, is a I'm a little bit more difficult. I know Dallas has one of the easier schedules this year, so that plays into that.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be.
I mean, it's not like Dallas is like easy. I mean, I do have them winning in Tennessee, but going to Tennessee, that's tough. Going to Lambeau,
that's really
going
tough.
to the Rams. So, like those tough games right there, they're on the road. But the two toughest games on the schedule they have at home, and that's Tampa Bay and Cincinnati.
Which will play to their benefit, but I don't know how.
I don't know how.
I still think the other teams are going to win.
Oh yeah, I do too. So the way we're looking at it's probably going to be Dallas, Philly, Giants, the edge over Washington.
I just want to. I'd just say
it's going to be
I'd
close.
switch Washington with the Giants, but yeah,
we're talking. I had 6 wins for Washington and 7 for the Giants, so they're not far off each other at all. Does Philly sneak its way into the playoffs though? They're gonna need that 11th win, I think.
I was gonna say they're gonna need 11 wins to make the playoffs if they're the wild card.
Yeah. Now if they roll it like I rolled it and they win 12 games, you're in, man. You're in the playoffs. And I know horrible record teams made the playoffs last year.
They did.
So there's always that.
Like 9
you
wins.
Probably won't have to have this many wins to get it, but this is by paper, and going by the paper, you're going to need double-digit wins to be in there. But I think the East is going to be interesting. Just how interesting did it turn out to be? Not very.
They've been struggling.
Not very.
I think it's going to be closer this year than it was last year.
Yeah. No, I think it will be too. You're talking Cowboys won 12 games. Philly finished in second with 9. Washington won 7. The Giants won 4. Yeah, it was a pretty. Dallas was just like, anybody else playing football?
They played a good.
Oh wait,
season.
First round of the playoffs is over. Oh, we're not playing football anymore either.
yeah, which is crazy.
Oh man, but that's a wrap there on NFC East. Don, any thoughts? Any team here you think might be able to do something? Might provide something special, playoff run. I don't know, but
I don't know. I think
outside of Dallas, of course.
I think the Eagles could impress us. I think if the Eagles win the division, then Dallas has a better chance of making a wild card spot than the reversal of that. So I think that it's going to be a good season for those two teams, or a decent season. But I don't think this division is going to be anything to write home about.
Right. So what you're saying, if Philly doesn't win the division, that means we're probably looking like they only won 8 games.
Yeah.
8 or 9 games again. But if they win it, they won 12 or 13 games if they won this division.
Yeah. If they beat it up, I mean, that's what they won. They won, what, 12 games when they won the Super Bowl? 12 or 13 before Wentz got hurt.
Right.
But they didn't have a loss. It was a clean sweep.
Right, when he took over.
Yeah.
A couple games leading into the playoff, and then all the playoff games.
Except for the Super Bowl. But hey, he still got a ring. Probably doesn't feel as good, but he still got a ring.
Right, he did. No, I'm in your camp. The Giants, they'll be the most improved team, record-wise in the division, but I don't really think it'll amount to anything.
No,
it won't. Like really, I know they're going to look at potential making a start, but I'm sorry, in the NFL, there's not much difference between 4 wins and 7.
I know, right?
Like,
I mean, for fan base, I guess it's cool. It shows progress, but
I mean, you'd almost rather win 4. You'd rather only win 4 because then you get a better draft pick.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It is.
Like, if you win 7, it's like you suck at sucking. You won too many games. But that's it for this week, Donnie. Thank you for joining me.
Appreciate you having me on as always, man.
Oh, dude, always. And we'll figure out, everybody, what division we're going to do next week. Mull over a couple divisions. Pick one that's tasty, unless something within the NFL happens. We may change the topic. That's the thing about the NFL. It always tries to stay relevant and in the stories. So there might be something else to talk about. But I really like schedule. I really like win totals. I really like trying to figure out how certain things can go down. So this has been awesome for me. I've loved every minute of it. There's more to come. I'm excited for. Hope everybody's been enjoying it. Donnie, I hope you've been enjoying this.
Oh, yeah. It's always fun, Brit.
This and talking individual fantasy football stuff, which I'm sure we'll get into that a lot more than we did last season, because last year we started late. Now I know how to break up the show and what to do. So pretty sure something fantasy football is gonna go down in conversation. But everybody, till next week, y'all have yourselves a beautiful week. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.